So Mike, how does one become a vendor here?
There's an application online that you fill out that asks you what it is you'd like to sell, the date you'd like to come, and then it's my job to figure out how the applicants, what product mix will work well and how folks will fit in. We're almost full right now. We occasionally have some spaces that are available during the summer, but it gets pretty full as all the farmers come in. So application, make sure that it fits in, that we have space for whatever the vendors want to sell.
And what are your hours? I heard you say that you're open year-round.
We're open 8 to 1 most of the year, from the first Saturday in April through the Saturday right before the holidays in December. Then in January, we reopen inside the building from 10 to 1, so it's shorter, it opens later, and we're indoors in case there's cold and bad weather and so forth. And then it's much smaller, there's maybe 15 or 16 vendors, but it is still popular. Last year was the first year we moved inside here, and it went really well. And part of the reason that we do that is to encourage the farms to be able to grow more year-round. Because some of them can do that, but if there's no place to sell it, there's no reason to continue growing throughout the whole year. But we have folks who are located a little bit down the mountain or have greenhouses that can grow year-round. And Jake's Farm, you could talk to them if you want to. They're down here. They'll probably be at the market this year, the winter market. So year-round, like I said, we do close for a couple Saturdays, but pretty much we're open all year-round, which is very exciting.
That is very exciting, and I see a variety of different vendors here as well. I just talked with someone who sells jewelry,
yes.
And we see here now the organic juice smoothies, and we just looked at the farmers. So it's just a variety. So it looks like a great place to come and do your shopping on a Saturday, but also just to admire and just to people watch a little bit too.
Yes. Well, and everything's it's a producer-only market, so the hands that are selling you that were somehow involved in the production of what they're selling. And we have coffee, which of course is not grown locally, but our coffee vendor over here is a local roaster, Biltmore Coffee Traders. So they roast their own beans. They have a selection of beans that are somewhat unique to their business. So it's kind of fun because it is, like I said, the way I say it is, the hands that are handing you the cup of coffee or the kale or whatever it is, those are the folks that grew those things, roasted those beans, juiced those juices, and it's all right straight from them to you.
Asheville. There's two kinds of rides, $13 ride for 40 minutes, hour and a half ride.
Traveled to Spain and I worked at El Bulli, which was the #1 restaurant in the world for 5 years. I worked there also as a server first because it was so competitive to get into the kitchen. So I tried to prove myself as work ethic and that I do it well, do it right, so they bring me back to be one of the people working in their kitchen, and they did that following year. So it was an amazing experience. That experience changed my life. I mean, I learned so much about organization and systems and how to run a restaurant. I mean, that's kind of what I took, more than techniques and things. It was more about restaurant operations. Exactly.
done much with some of the Native American or Cherokee food products or things like that?
Yes, and sort of one of my goals for this restaurant is to explore that even more.
Okay.
I mean, some of those things have become absorbed into our sort of native indigenous produce. You know, sunchokes, was a big Cherokee food source, and those have always, for me, they've always been a source for food. Our coffee is actually produced, roasted by a woman in Cherokee, and her whole story, her whole hook, I guess, is from one indigenous tribe to another indigenous tribe. So she's a native Cherokee, and the name of the coffee is Tribal Grounds.
Made back in India. We have a stone-on-stone grinder, so we take it, we soak the grains overnight, we put them in the grinder makes them a batter, we let the batter sit out overnight, it ferments and gets really fluffy and big, and kind of like bread would, but with just all natural, microbiotics from here, and then we make these little crepes out of them, and you can make them like pancakes, you can make them crispy thin, kind of like French crepes, and you can top them with anything.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what do you eat them with?
Traditionally, you can top them with anything, and that's what I love about India. People keep thinking that there's authentic Indian food. I'm like, no. Indian food has been evolving since the people from Africa first came to India and bought with them this cooking technique. It's been evolving ever since. Every culture that comes to India, we find something, we borrow it, we use it, and we spit it out. And like, you can go to the streets of Bombay today and go to the authentic street food, and they got pizza, burgers, tacos, but it tastes like nothing you've had before. Because they took it and assimilated it. So this is a cheese at the bone, and it's got shredded mozzarella cheese on top. And in India, it's even worse. They put processed cheese on it, like Kraft cheese. Because that's the only cheese they had for the longest time, was Kraft cheese. So it's a cheese at the bone, and people go, that sounds American. I'm like, dude, no. It's so Indian, you have no idea. The only thing that would make it more Indian was if I used Velveeta, the mozzarella. So that's what it is, and it's got a little ginger, a little chilies, little tomatoes, and it's crispy in the bottom, but kind of soft and spongy, and a little bit sour. And then that's a coconut chutney that's been tempered with mustard seed. So, tell me what you think.
Now, when I came in, you gave me a menu of the different foot soaks that I could choose from. So tell me a little bit about the services that you have here. So is it only foot soaks, or are there other things? Because it seemed like there was quite a bit on the menu. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we kind of try to span different economies, with different affordability levels for guests. So we do have the foot soaks are kind of our primary experience. That's what we're known for. We have these gorgeous hand-hammered copper bowls, and we make these luxurious foot soaks that are about 108 degrees. So they really kind of help you to release and unwind kind of your whole body. But we also do add-on services, massage services while you're soaking your feet. So you can get a head, neck, and shoulder massage. You can get a hand and arm massage if you've been on the computer all day, or you can get a foot and lower leg massage and just, you know, totally unwind. And then we have packages that might kind of layer some of those treatments together. They might also include tea service. They might have a little bit of truffles or some shortbreads just for you to kind of really do it to the nines.
Oh, I really like that idea of having some refreshments and things too, because that's another one of your sensories that you're heightening as well, you know, while you're getting your foot soaked. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, and I saw some of your nice little treats. So tell me a little bit about those. I think you special order them?
We do. We special order our shortbreads from a company called Butter Blossoms in Charleston, and they're just excellent. They do basically two products. They do cupcakes and shortbreads, and they're amazing at both of those things. So we get a lot of great feedback on them, and then we let people know that they can find them in Charleston. And then we also carry truffles from French Broad Chocolate Lounge, which is a very well-known chocolate company here in Asheville and kind of becoming very well-known across the U.S. as well. And they do really great artisanal truffles and things like that. So we do truffle service back there too, if you'd like to have a little bit of chocolate while you're back there.
You meet people from all walks of life, good folks. We've been here 10 years, and starting into year 11, and the people that are not welcome back, you can count on one hand after all that time. And you see folks that never knew each other sit down at the table. Next thing you know, they're friends, they're lifelong friends, they see each other all the time. But that's one of the main things. There's some lasting friendships. We've had engagements happen after meeting here.
Really?
Oh, yeah, all kinds of
Matchmakers,
personal
huh?
touches. Yeah, close to it. But we don't do it on purpose.
Right.
It's just natural.
It just naturally happens.
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the traditional hotels, that
Oh, yeah.
form of travel. Each has a place within
Right.
the industry. If you're looking for the connection with other folks, if you're looking for a place to use as a hub and then branch off of it doing things for a lengthy stay, the industry you'll find is not the old share a bath down the hall industry of 30 years ago. It has evolved into where it's a very upscale way to travel without upscale attitudes and pricing.